help during this time. Sorry, trying to find my place. So again, if you're looking for a way to help during these unprecedented times and helping us recover from this storm and also get paid, now is your chance. In conjunction with Debris Tech, Spartanburg County is hosting that debris monitoring hiring event today and tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Spartanburg County Administration Building. That address is 366 North Church Street. Like I said, we've already had a huge turnout. We hope that folks will continue to turn out because we will need to hire at least 100 people as data collection and debris monitoring technicians. So individuals could earn over $1,000 a week. Training is provided. It's not very labor intensive. And considering, again, the significant amount of storm debris that our county has endured, we're going to need those extra hands. If hired, you would be responsible for assisting us in monitoring debris removal and collection efforts. The primary job duties of a data collection or debris monitor include ensuring that only eligible debris is recovered, loaded, and hauled, ensuring that debris loads are properly contained in the loading containers, and monitoring contractors and reporting potential issues. To be hired, you must be at least 18 years old. You must have a valid driver's license, a personal vehicle, and a cell phone. And you must have the ability to work in the outside elements for long periods of time. We ask that you have a flexible schedule with the ability to work up to 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. This is considered a temporary job, but we do expect to, as Doug was mentioning, we do expect to be removing debris for the coming months, possibly into the next year. We'll have more information about this event and other important storm-related information on our Facebook page at Spartanburg County, so be sure to follow us there to stay in the loop. But now I'm going to turn it over to our friends with the United Way of the Piedmont, Hannah Jarrett.
Thank you all. So I just want to share an update about some of the efforts that we're doing with United Way of the Piedmont. We have a team stationed here at the Emergency Services. We have established our United for All disaster relief efforts. Information about that can be found on our website at uwpiedmont.org/United for All. On that website, you can find where we've compiled a list of all of the resources related to hurricane relief and disaster response. We're trying to keep an up-to-date resource tracker on that website. So please go there if you're looking for shelter, food, or other services for the most up-to-date information. We also have information on that website about if you are seeking assistance because you are experiencing a hardship caused by the storm. You can fill out a form on our website to get on a list for us to call you back and go over your situation so that we can connect you with resources that you need and provide you services based on your specific situation. And then on that website, we also have a way for you if you want to financially donate to relief efforts. You can do so there. We've already had over 600 people reach out for assistance over the past few days, and our team and volunteers is working really diligently to follow up with all of those folks. It's a long list and it grows by the minute because there's a lot of people in our community who have needs right now, and we just thank y'all for your patience as we get through that. Some of the highest needs that we're seeing is, of course, loss of food because of the multi-day power outage, so people are concerned with restocking their fridge and their freezers. We've had a lot of people displaced from their homes due to flood and tree damage, and people who have lost income due to unpaid time off related to childcare needs or workplaces being closed. We're also seeing a very high need for baby formula in our community as well right now. So by going to uwpiedmont.org/United for All, again, if you are seeking assistance, you can fill out a form on that website. And we will follow up with you to connect you with resources. If you are wanting to donate financially, you can do so there so that we can help more people. As early as Monday, we will also have information on that website about a donation drive that we're doing for those high need items. So if you want to donate in-kind items such as like food, baby formula, that type of thing, We will have a specific list of items that are the highest need items listed on that website. And we will have a donation drop-off on Monday at downtown Spartanburg at the Denny's Tower. And again, more information can be found on the website about that. We will also have a list of volunteer opportunities. So if you're wanting to donate your time to relief efforts, starting as soon as Monday, we will have a list of those biggest need for hands-on volunteers there as well. Please continue to help your neighbors, to give, to donate, to do what you can. We at United Way are here to partner with you and being a helper, and we're here to help our community recover from this.
Before we wrap up, I'm going to see if we have any final messages from the folks who are in the room. Would you like to say anything?
Good morning. Of course, the National Guard is in the upstate. We're in Spartanburg County, and we remain committed to the citizens here. We are projecting over 1,300 South Carolina National Guardsmen on duty in support of the upstate, and we continue to support our state partners here with whatever the need may be. We remain dedicated, working tirelessly around the clock, 24-hour operations for food and water distribution, shelter assistance, road clearance of trees and debris remains constant until complete, and then to assist in any other vital critical tasks as requested by our partners here. So we just want the community to know that, and we're with you until the very end. So thank you.
We do want to give a great big thank you to our local media partners for helping us get the word out on all this important information. We do understand that some folks can't access this information yet. The folks who are watching online, please help us spread the word. The old-fashioned word of mouth is really working right now. And again, we thank you all for your patience, your support, and your thoughts and prayers. Yes, sir.
Mr. Bryson, Councilman Britt mentioned that around 100,000 people are still without power in the county. Do you have any kind of update from Duke Energy about the effort to restore that power?
No, I cannot speak to that, no, sir.
I will say this, Max, and that's a good question. When I say 100,000, that's probably low. I think the number we've heard is around 80,000 households. So if you average 3 people in a household, you're talking about a couple 100,000 people that are without power. So that's why it's very important that we stay focused and work towards a solution. There are a lot of people still hurting in this county. We have 370,000, so when you're talking about potentially 250 to 270,000, that's a lot of folks. They're still wanting to know, when am I going to get power? And everybody is working. There is no list. As Doug said, just like with the roads, these crews are working as fast as they can with all the transmission lines and all the substations, trying to work through all the damage. This is unprecedented. I've talked to some folks with power companies that were from the coast, from Louisiana all the way down the Gulf Coast of Florida, up the East Coast. And those folks that are working here said, we've never seen anything like this. Hugo, it was bad. This is much worse. Katrina, this is much worse.
We're also hearing that, there's several thousand wooden utility poles were destroyed across the entire upstate. Yesterday, as I was reading, something was put out by Duke Energy. For one span, that's to put up 2 poles and to string the cables between that span of poles can take about 4 hours. So you multiply that by the 1,500 to 2,000 poles that were destroyed in the upstate. That gives you a sense of time of how long it's taking. Plus they have to get the equipment, get the materials, get the proper transformers, get the fuses, and all the hardware that goes with each span.
And the coroner mentioned the 2 deaths attributed to the lack of, or the malfunctioning stoplights. Is there going to be any kind of plan for increased police presence at those stoplights?
I have not heard of any increased police presence. That's why we're asking the public to please, because there's still a number of areas where the red lights are out. The crews are working diligently to get those pushed back up. So I'm unaware of any police presence.
I do know, Max, that we had a couple of deputies at certain high traffic intersections. But again, we've got everyone working around the clock right now. So we've got deputies who are manning our points of distribution centers. We've got them running and grabbing supplies, and then also just responding to their normal usual calls. And so we want to say that we can monitor those intersections, but really we're calling on the public to just be vigilant, pay attention, slow down, and treat those as four-way stops.
And I've requested city council members and some folks within the city to please get, and I did it from the very beginning, please get some officers out there, those major intersections. But fortunately now, a lot of the, traffic lights are working. Still not all, just like what Rusty said, even right on Church Street, right near the hospital, there's several that aren't working. But we've made that request, and that's about all we can do is put pressure on.
Now I'll go back and address the issue with Duke. I'm still without power at my residence. We registered when we lost power. They're sending out, if you're fortunate enough to have cell phone service and, have your cell phone charged, they are sending out periodic updates on when you can expect or when they're hoping to have your power on. So that is giving some hope to some folks. And I'm in an extreme rural area, so that's why it's taking so long. They have a systematic way of doing it and trying to restore power to the masses first, and then work their way out.
Scotty, can I make one more comment?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to make a note that the South Carolina Forestry Commission issued a burn ban beginning October 1st. And so it's really important. It's not that our area is necessarily more susceptible to fires, it's that all of our firefighting staff, first responders, are dealing with this crisis right now, and they need to be focused on that. So please refrain from burning the debris. We realize that can be difficult, but there are places to put it and not burn it. So thank you very much.
That along with people having their windows open and the smoke rolling in their house, they don't have any way of cooling the house, so a lot of them are leaving their windows open, and that smoke is getting in there, and they're suffering because of that as well.
I was going to say one other thing. Again, as bad as things have been in the last week, you also see so many good things.
Yes.
Just like all the good stuff this team has talked about here. But there's so many people in the community, just like fire departments. The other night, the Drayton Fire Department, Chief Comer and his team put together a hamburger, hot dog cookout just to serve the Drayton community. And that's going on all over this county. And the mayors all coming together and working. Mayor Jared Spencer out in Cowpens, Mayor Canby in Packlet, just trying to help. And they're doing things. Doug Bryson just today, called and said, David, I got this water supply. Where do you need it? And in the Packlet, Clifton, Cowpens area, that's where they needed water badly. And Doug jumped on it, and that'll be there this afternoon. So everybody's responding in a positive way. We're not pointing fingers and talking about how bad it is. This county, I think, is 850 square miles. We got over 1,750 county roads, not state roads, not municipal, county roads. So it is a big county with a lot of people. The good thing is we got great people, and they're responding.
Thank you, David.
And also, we should say this too, yesterday was Scotty K's anniversary, and she worked fearlessly and tirelessly yesterday.
Thank you, David.
I didn't say that yesterday.
My
to
husband
you.
will appreciate that. Thank you. One more point I'll make, you guys, and we'll wrap up. We talked multiple times about the storm debris removal process, putting that storm debris out in front of your homes. Just to clarify, because we have gotten a few questions about it, please don't put the storm debris in the roadway. We're already working around the clock to clear the roads. We definitely don't want to have to redo some of that work. So just place it on the curb, next to the road, in a safe space where we can access it, not in front of mailboxes, not, as Doug said, not with the standing trees, just somewhere safe, as close to the road as you can get without putting it in the roadway. With that, I'll open it up to any final questions, and then we'll close out. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you,
I
guys.
did have a question coming over. Somebody asked if somebody's a big tree.
A lot of updates this afternoon from leaders there in Spartanburg County, so I'm going to go ahead and bring you some of the highlights. First this afternoon, sadly, Coroner Rusty Clevenger sharing that there are 8 deaths in Spartanburg County related to the storm now. The coroner saying that number may keep growing. And he said this is a reminder for everyone. There have been calls about people passing away in their house or yard, and it's been days before they are found, so the coroner is encouraging all of us to check on our neighbors. He also said some of these fatalities fatalities have been from people being hit by cars because drivers have not been paying attention to places where the traffic lights are out. So a reminder as you are out there driving to pay attention to those places and treat them as a four-way stop if the traffic lights are out. Also, officials are continuing to encourage people to call the urgent unmet needs number instead of 911. This is for people who can't get out of their yards or can't get their critical medication. That number to share with you, the urgent unmet needs number, 864-860-1644. Officials also say there are and that number is right there on your screen. Also, there are 5 shelters still open in Spartanburg County this afternoon, including a special medical needs shelter on the campus of USC Upstate where people can plug in their medical equipment. These shelters have food, water, places to sleep, and places to charge your electronic devices. Officials reminding people that the school districts are serving free meals, and they say the debris clearing is expected to take many months in Spartanburg County, but the pickup, they remind people, will be free of charge. They're encouraging people to place their debris on the curb next to the road where it can be accessed, but not near the mailbox and not in the road, officials say. They also say there was a hiring event this morning for debris monitoring positions in Spartanburg County. It opened at 10 a.m. today. Officials say there was a line of people as early as 7 a.m. This hiring event is happening again tomorrow. It's happening at the Spartanburg County Administration Building on North Church Street starting at 10 a.m. tomorrow. There are some criteria. You do have to be 18 years old, have a valid driver's license, a personal vehicle, and a cell phone, and the ability to work outside. You may be working 12-hour shifts up to 7 days a week. They're hoping to hire at least 100 people and said people can earn as much as $1,000 a week. Again, that hiring event happening at the Spartanburg County Administration Building on North Church Street starting at 10 a.m. tomorrow. That's Friday. Just to really illustrate how large the debris cleanup is in Spartanburg County and so many counties around our area. A few more reminders to share with you. Officials say don't burn your debris. The state's burn ban remains in place. There are also places around Spartanburg County where hot showers are still available. They're being offered at Landrum High School until 2 today, Lyman First Baptist Church until 5 today, and the Glendale Fire Department. And an update also from Spartanburg Water. Officials from Spartanburg Water reminding people that the water is clean and high quality. They say the water has not been compromised by the storm, and they're also planning to fill large tanker trucks of water and send it to Western North Carolina, where we know it is so greatly needed. There is, if you need water, a water station currently at 301 South Avenue, and from 10 to 4, people can bring their own containers and fill up as much water as they need. I'm looking over my notes, just making sure that's all the updates we have to share with you from Spartanburg County as of right now. Also, officials saying at Spartanburg Community College in Duncan, people can pick up free ice while supplies last. And officials say the 7-Eleven on Nazareth Church Road will be offering free ice from 4 p.m. until supplies last today. And if you would like to help, the United Way of the Piedmont says you can go to uwpiedmont.org. You can also scan this QR code that you see right here on your screen to donate to the American Red Cross. We are expecting updates from other counties in our area. We're also expecting an update from North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper at 1:30 this afternoon, and we will bring that to you live.